Don't ever laugh as a hearse goes by, for you may be the next to die. They wrap you up in bloody sheets to drop you 6 feet underneath. They put you in a pine wood box and cover you up with dirt and rocks. It all goes well for about a week, and then your coffin begins to leak, and the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out, the worms play pinochle on your snout. They eat your eyes, they eat your nose as you begin to decompose. A slimy beetle with demon's eyes chews through your stomach and out your sides. Your stomach turns to rancid grease, and pus pours out like melted cheese. You spread it on a slice of bread, and that's what you'll eat when you're dead. And the worms crawl out, the worms crawl in, the worms that crawl in are lean and thin, the ones that crawl out are fat and stout. Your eyes fall in and your hair falls out, your brain turns into maggot pie, your liver starts to liquefy, and for the living all is well as you sink further into hell. And the flames rise up to drag you down into the fire where you will drown. Your skin melts off as you descend, and Satan tears you limb from limb. Your suffering will never end, and the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out. They'll eat your guts and then shit them out, and when your bones begin to rot, the worms remain, but you do not. So don't ever laugh as a hearse goes by, for someday you'll be the one to die. And when death brings his cold despair, ask yourself, will anyone care? Don't ever laugh as a hearse goes by, for you may be the next to die. They wrap you up in bloody sheets to drop you 6 feet underneath. They put you in a pine wood box and cover you up with dirt and rocks. It all goes well for about a week, and then your coffin begins to leak, and the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out, the worms play pinochle on your snout. They eat your eyes, they eat your nose as you begin to decompose. A slimy beetle with demon's eyes chews through your stomach and out your sides. Your stomach turns to rancid grease,
Welcome
and
back.
pus pours out like melted cheese. You spread it on a slice of bread, and that's what you'll eat when you're dead. And the worms crawl out, the worms
To Accountant Dark's Season 3 of Ash versus Evil Dead. How are you guys doing today? A little bit, Ranger, a little bit. Headache's not as strong, it's still there. Not feeling completely over it, but I did want to get these 3 episodes in. Thank you for asking though, and you too, Kat. Well, trust me, Paris, I might give you your own little share segment itself. Like spotlight on you. Dave says, I don't understand the Evil Dead. Well, what do you want to know? What don't you understand? Maybe we can help. You have come into the right area of the internet for such things. Fix all my accessories here. I do like the necklace though. Little dragon eye. Just adding to the overall vampiric look. What's going on, Harlan? Today is a commentary for the first 3 episodes of Season 3 of Ash versus the Evil Dead. You just haven't watched it? Oh, man. That is something I deeply envy with some people. It's like when people say they've never watched the original Friday the 13th. Like, to experience all of that for the first time is crazy. Oh, excuse me. I should add custom emojis to my Discord. I was thinking of something like that, but I wasn't sure exactly how to do it. I gotta look into it to see what I could add and what are the prerequisites of adding such things. You'd be surprised, Devin. There are a lot of people that have maybe only seen the remake of Friday the 13th and maybe only played the video game of Friday the 13th. What are my thoughts on mentioning that Jason was cremated in part 5? My thoughts were originally that was probably something that was a mistake as far as what the mayor's information was, which is also kind of voiced when the cop says, are you sure? Were you there? Like there is some dissension there, because you would figure Jason getting cremated, that would have probably been public knowledge for a lot of people close to that area, especially someone like the cop who was very much into all of that. JG needs realistic vampire fangs. You never know. I might have some around here somewhere. Add that sexy, delicious Book of the Dead. If I get enough members on here and I can add more emojis, that's my next one I want. Maybe not a sexy one. Maybe. We'll see. You can have up to 50 custom emojis. But I mean, do I need anything in particular? Is there any kind of requirements for me to meet Cat for that? Or can I just add them? Also, did Jason really build those tunnels in the electricity system in the remake? It never really says. It insinuates that he may have, but never really says. I mean, my guess, if I was to just take a stab in the dark at it, I would think that the tunnels were already there, as was some of the electrical system, because there was probably like some kind of like tunneling thing that the people were doing around Crystal Lake's area prior to it maybe being shut down, or maybe after it being shut down. And then Jason just ultimately ran him off. It looked like it was kind of in the middle of something. So I don't know exactly if I don't know if Jason, we can say, actually built that. What's going on, Harboy? Oh, don't worry, Paris. Don't worry. Even if we don't get all the Ash stuff out of the way, that just means more Ash stuff coming down the road. But we will be getting some of your Jason in, most certainly. The only required is that it has to be a certain size. Okay, I'll check it out, Kat. I'll start adding all kinds of shit in there then. Let me fix my jacket before we get started. Which, if that's the case, if it's only a little bit of like size requirement in the Discord, I mean, I'd say round up all who you can, get them all in the Discord so we can all chat. Dave says, is the next stream hunting ground? The next stream may be a little bit of both. Hey, what's going on? Is that Ernix? And Michael J. Fox. With 3 X's. How you doing, Michael J? Better add a vibe check emoji. Let's be something on the list, most certainly. Playing some Arkham Knight. I haven't played Arkham Knight in a while. Especially since I got it for free on PC. Just finished watching your favorite Netflix series, Nick Kerr. 10 out of 10. Recommend. Really? What's it about? Because I know I just finished watching the season 4 of The Last Kingdom. That was the last thing I watched on Netflix. But I'm always down to watch some more stuff, especially if it's that highly recommended. It's Marty McFly. You gotta remember, Ty, it's only with 1 X on the Michael J. Fox. There's 3. He's just as likely a porn star. Which, even then. What's going on, Mass Bomber? Remember Backyard Baseball? Wasn't there a video game called that? Or is that what you're referring to, Garrett? Oh, I definitely will, Michael J. I definitely will. Call you Triple X. But yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I'm definitely looking for anything on pretty much any streaming service to watch. You just beat Asylum in City. Well, you're just running the gamut, aren't you? All right. I'd say, you know what? Fuck it. Let's get into it. For those that are just joining us, this is an Ash vs. the Evil Dead Season 3, Episodes 1 through 3 commentary. The way this will work is, obviously, for copyright reasons, I cannot play the video on the screen to let you guys watch it as well. I tried that with a different program, wasn't exactly as successful. So the way we're going to do this is the way we normally do it for those that are regulars here. I will end up giving a countdown, assuming that you have a copy of the season episodes that we're watching, which I believe are on Netflix. What you'll end up doing, you'll listen for my countdown. I'll count down from 5, 1 to play. When I say play, you'll hit play. We'll be in sync, hopefully. And if I make mention of anything on the screen, it should sync up at least to a close degree with what you're seeing. Hopefully. There are always situations of a possible special edition, although I don't think that is the case for something like Ash versus the Evil Dead. Oh, don't worry, Machete. I can give you some time. I'll give another 4 minutes. That'll give us 20 minutes into the stream. But once we start, that is pretty much what you guys are looking for. Just jump on Netflix, get to the season, episode 1, 2, 3. We'll sync it up. We'll watch it together. Yeah, still thinking about the hat tie. Still thinking about it. Although I'd be lying if I wasn't partial to the pirate-esque kind of look with the bandana. When I did my commentary, my original early way back when I was starting to stream commentary for Night of the Living Dead, I did get a copyright claim for one of the parts on there with the music. I just disputed it though, and it ultimately went away. So now that is no longer copyrighted at all. No claims on it. Which ultimately, when I do the Romero movies again, that is going to be one of them. So I'm likely going to get a copyright claim again for that, because that I will be playing on screen. Don't like the guy that played Jason and Freddy versus Jason, Anthony? Something's off about him. Mostly because he moved too stiff, and they wanted to make him more of a Frankenstein's monster character than his actual own character. That would be partially of a reason why. The music is stock music, yes. Pretty much, but it kind of sounds like something else, I guess they said, when I challenged it. But ultimately, I won the challenge. So pretty much all you gotta do is dispute it. Which for you, it's not too big of an issue, just because you're not monetized yet. So pretty much you don't necessarily have to do like something like I would have to do, or Dead Meat would have to do, or anything like that, or any of the other channels that are monetized, where you would have to take the video down until the claim goes away, because then they claim your entire video. Or you can leave it up. You can leave it up and hope that pretty much the claim expires, the 30 days expire, and all the money that you would get from the ad revenue from that particular video goes to you as the awarded winner. However, YouTube's copyright system is gravely flawed. Like, technically, I could claim one of your videos, and you could try to fight it, but if I dispute it, then ultimately I went out on the copyright, because I am the initial claimant. Like, for those wondering, if you remember the old song that I used to play at the intro of my streams, the reason I changed that is because originally that song was copyright free. It was public domain from the artist and everything. I would credit him in my credits. However, another person took that instrumental, made a song, put his vocals over it, and then took ownership of the entire music piece. Just because he sung over it, now he claims ownership of not only the vocals, that's one thing, but he claims ownership over the music as well. So I got a ton of copyright claims on all of my videos, some with very high view counts, and was trying to claim all that money. I had to fight every single one in order to keep my ad revenue for all of those videos. So what I ended up doing was I found another song, which ultimately led me to the Her song. And there was a couple of songs before that, but ultimately I ended up settling on the Her song as my intro song from Rusty Cage, which even then I definitely credit him as well. But yeah, the copyright system on YouTube is very, very, very deeply flawed. Where did Mama go? I'm sure she's lurking around, Alessandro. What's my favorite Friday movie? If we were talking about Friday, I got a rankings of all of my Friday the 13th films, Dave. That is a video on the page. I can tell you my number one was part 4, but if you want to check out to see how I ranked all of them, be sure to go check out that video. I mean, yeah, it's definitely stupid, Ty. It's definitely dumb how they do it. But ultimately, while the movie itself is public domain, some of the music that Romero used was not. But at the time, I mean, not all of it was stock music that he used for that film. But ultimately, since the 60s, those copyrights have kind of gone away, and now they are public domain. So it's still kind of weird. Like, it's like the original production company for that music is trying to claim other shit that they shouldn't be. I have heard that as well. Can I link my ranking video? Let me check. Hey guys. Oh, whoa. That was a little bit too much there. Didn't realize I had my volume still on. There is the link. And also, I realize we're at 6 likes, so I owe you 6 JGs. There we go. So JG, I almost have every mask from the original franchise. I have to wait till 4:30 to work on the part 8. In my part China blank, which will be completely reshaped. Just left DC this morning. All right. I saw your one picture of the part 8. Looking like you're making a ton of progress. But all right, I'm assuming everyone is ready. I gave extra 5 minutes for everyone to get ready, so I'm assuming we're all ready. So, that being said, we're about to begin the countdown. And we begin episode 1, season 3 of Ash vs. the Evil Dead. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play. Why did I read the Paris comment in my Dark Theories voice? I don't know, it just kind of felt right. So we get a nice little recap. What's going on, Martin J? How you doing? Ty says, what would you think about David Slade directing a Friday the 13th movie? He directed Twilight Eclipse, unfortunately, 30 Days of Night, Hard Candy, some episodes of the Hannibal TV show, and Black Mirror. The experimental, the experimental one on Netflix. That episode of Black Mirror where you decide what happens. Actually, I like 30 Days of Night, so I wouldn't put that as a slight against them. Everything else, Twilight Eclipse, Hard Candy, I vaguely remember. And Hannibal TV show, I watched a couple episodes of. Black Mirror, I heard, was really good, but I have not watched it. Fucking Ashes commercials. Bruce should have been doing promos like this for the TV show. What is this, Martin? This is Ash versus the Evil Dead commentary. I'm doing episodes 1 through 3. Like, personally, if I was going to have anybody direct a new Friday the 13th movie, I would probably look at indie directors from maybe YouTube or other smaller productions and give them a extremely small budget of about like maybe $5 million and see what they could do. Personally, I think, just judging by what we know, Vincente DeSanti is probably the best to go to. Or the makers of Jason Rising. Both of them seem to really get the franchise. So considering he's able to rev up the chainsaw without having to touch it with his other hand, did Pablo kind of rig the power glove hand with maybe some kind of sensors to allow Ash to rev up the chainsaw without really holding on to the handle or anything? Ranger says, JG, if Ruby killed her future self, doesn't that mean that she would die as well? Not exactly. She killed her future self. If Ruby would have killed her past self, one would think that the future one would have died too. But however, with time travel on here, kind of acts as a paradox kind of thing. The past doesn't seemingly affect the future. Because if that was the case, the events of Evil Dead 1 and 2 should have never have happened. Judging by what we saw when they go back through time and they destroy the cabin. And the book, as we see here, was buried in the dirt. So that means nobody touched the book. Let alone did they ever find the Nobi tape player. Where does Kelly work? I believe it's a bar, right? See, that's what I'm thinking too, Paris. It has to be like Pablo did something with the gauntlet. But it also goes back to my theory with how time travel works on here. I think it's a multiversal kind of thing. Like Ash's time was already set. It's done. It's pretty much everything that's happened is happened. It cannot be altered in any kind of way. But when you go to another time, it's almost like the DC Comics approach to things, that you can go to a different timeline and it branches off, or even how they explained in the Avengers. You can create branching timelines based off a certain starting point. And that's what I think happened last season. Now, Ash getting his hand back, that is a extremely weird thing. I still think that was Ball fucking with his mind, giving him his hand back. Because I don't think that's not within Ball's capabilities. I think he could totally do that, to fuck with Ash. And then to give it to him only to take Ash's, a chainsaw and chop it right back off. That's even more mindfuckery with Ash. Ooh. Punch his face off. Maybe Ty. Maybe. JG, my friend hates the part where Ruby gives birth to little Ash. I mean, it is a unsettling part, isn't it? I mean, with that tie, I almost, the way I would kind of market it, like, of course it would be a Friday the 13th film, but I would just market it as Bloodbath of Crystal Lake with a 13 behind the letters. That would be pretty cool. That guy's, yeah, definitely Spider-Man. That guy's a furry. A demonic furry. Could be hot though. Never know. Anthony says, did you know Freddie was on a talk show in the 80s? He was in character. Not only Robert Englund did a ton of shit as Freddie. I believe there was also a Japanese kind of comedic commercial I saw on one of the Nightmare forums, where it had him chasing a bunch of Japanese people, and they were doing fucking tricks where they had Freddy trying to catch apples or some shit on his claws. It's a lot of weird shit that was going on. Yeah, at that point, I'm kind of... Yeah. Shit starts leaking out. I'd be gravely concerned. Yeah, at that point, it's time to run. That was a TV show? Holy shit. Because I remember I saw it, but it seemed like it was very commercial-esque. That I don't think we know for sure, Ranger. Because there's nothing that I remember seem to indicate that the person is still in the suit. And we know that the Deadites can possess inanimate objects. So I'm not entirely certain. At least once your Howard Hawks and John Carpenter tribute. Just watched something on the Angry Video Game Nerd channel where he was going over the original thing with the John Carpenter version. See, that would have been a good thing too. Like if Ash would have went back in time last season and then came back and Ash, Pablo, and Kelly didn't know what they changed in this timeline. And this whole season was mostly about them dealing with the ramifications of time travel. Oh, I know who you are, Spider. Or Machete. I remember. Why Michael Myers never goes to talk shows? Because, I mean, he's not a very talkative person. I mean, we saw Jason go to a talk show. Wasn't exactly riveting TV. Stop calling you mommy. Hey, I don't know what you did to incite such things for them to call you mommy, but being the person that they call daddy, the most I can say is just go with it and embrace it. Because, I mean, if you're mommy and I'm daddy, that means we can punish. Like, go get in the corner, Devin. No, Dave, there are none of them where Jason is a Deadite. The closest you get is maybe Adam Marcus's movie, which was Jason Goes to Hell, that features a 2-second look at the Necronomicon. But even then, Jason's not a Deadite. Never was, never has been. Like, outside of, was it Chet, who knew Cheryl, how come we haven't run into any other characters that knew any of Ash's other friends? I'm not sure yet, Paris. Like, I may, just depends. I haven't really played too much of anything. I tried playing some Dead by Daylight last night while I had a headache. Fucking just destroyed my head even more. And my headache isn't quite gone yet. So I'm gonna probably take some more aspirin once I get off here. And then if I'm on, I'll shoot you an invite. Bye. You can't just leave, Harley. You're one of us. I definitely will, Paris. I definitely will. What's going on, Haley? How you doing? Because, I mean, another time paradox kind of thing with this is that we know that when Ash goes back in time, human Ruby's with him. And Demon Ruby or Dark One Ruby ends up killing human Ruby. But if Demon Ruby is here, does that mean that human Ruby ever lost her powers and went back in time? And if that's the case, then shouldn't them going back in time have been completely different? And then if we look deeper into that, fucking like, because if we look at it, because now it's got me thinking, like, if the timelines are separated and they're branched, does that mean that Demon Ruby from that alternate timeline somehow found a way to this timeline? Now, sorry, Anthony. I hate to burst your bubble with that. Jason is not a Deadite. Sorry. There is no evidence or any kind of lore that indicates that Jason is a Deadite in any of the films, outside of the 1-2 second viewing of the Necronomicon in the supposed Voorhees house that no authorities have ever found, and it was just left out in the open. Absolutely, positively, 135%, if not more, Jason is not a Deadite. I've got videos on that too, Anthony, if you want to check those out. How so, Haley? What's going on? Yeah, definitely, Paris. If you want, feel free to grab the link and share it in here as well. The old sperm shooter. I guess I do have to go check it out. One moment, Paris. All right. There is Paris's link if you want to check that out. And there is my link to my video if you want to check that one out. Both explaining why Jason is not, cannot, and will never be a Deadite. I mean, most you can do, Haley, is just try to let them know how you guys feel. I'm still planning on a tie. Matter of fact, I have the outfit for it. Let me get myself straightened up. Yeah, this will be a great outfit to do a reading of Dracula, don't you think? Took off all of her fingers. Yeah, I remember seeing that when Brandy's mother died, and it's like, oh shit, that didn't last long. Best Deadite is Evil Andy Deadite. I agree. I agree. I loved Evil Andy's Deadite. That and when he did his booster reboots on Amityville, that had me fucking dying. Oh, shit. That's some really good effects. Even for, like, CG. I mean, see, Haley, that's the whole thing. Like, with stuff like that, it is what it is. I mean, most you can do is, like I said, you gotta let them know, like, you know, it's not a problem. Like, everything's all good. But at that point, if it continues on, there may be something deeper than maybe what's on the surface. Yeah, I don't think it's the guy that's in the suit. I think the suit is pretty much possessed. I mean, if that's what you believe, Anthony, that's completely fine. But with something like that, if we get into that debate of Jason being a Deadite, I'm going to need some more evidence than just saying. Because, I mean, I could say Jason's Godzilla. Could you prove that he's not? That'd be the thing. You'd have to prove it. I stated my case. I think I have a fairly strong case of why Jason is not a Deadite. But you're more than welcome to try to debate it with me. I'm completely fine with that. Remember what Lori did to that bagel? Would it do that to the Book of the Dead? Book of the Dead would probably like it too. Wouldn't seek counseling. Oh, well, that was episode 1 of Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3. Next dark theory. Jason is Godzilla. I mean, can you prove that he's not? When they both rise out of the water and you get that sense of destructive dread that this unstoppable force is coming to destroy everything in its path. Can you really prove that Jason is nothing more than Godzilla masked, and that Pamela is part of the race of lizard people? She didn't just give birth to Jason. She laid an egg. That egg rolled onto the dock of Camp Crystal Lake and fell into the water and hatched. Once it hatched, Jason, who was nothing more than a tadpole at that point, swam out motherless. Pamela, who had lost the use of her underwater breathing skills, couldn't find Jason and went crazy. As years went on, her lizard brain shrunk. See, I could go all day with that. I could go all day. Pretty much. Like, if you're almost not even a main character ranger, if you're any character in Ash vs. Evil Dead, at some point, you're likely going to be splashed with a shit ton of blood. So when Kelly said, "You miss me?" I said, "I miss the juiciness." Ty says, "I'm so glad we got to see Lucy Lawless naked. I think this episode she looks the most hottest. Stanley was happy." I'm sure he was. Although I prefer Lucy Lawless with the hairstyle that she had when she was human better. Just my personal preference. But either way, same person. Just lovely. Dave says, "I'm gonna go as I don't understand, but the only reason Jason isn't Godzilla as Jason, a bit too small to be Godzilla, but everything else proves yes." How do you know it's not a camera trick, Dave? How do you know it's not like when you have a city in the background and then you have me in the foreground? And I'm just walking like I'm crushing through the city. How do you know that's not what's being done? There's a lot of camera tricks with that. Best theory, best. That's something we could go through. We can discuss that, Ty. We can discuss that all day. All right, let's begin episode 2. So we start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Hashtag Jason is Godzilla. Every time Jason roars now, Dave, you're just going to think like that is what's he really saying? Is he crying for mother? You have a good night, Dave. Have a good night. Glad to see you. Kind of reminds me of Alien. Oh, the hell with that. I'm leaving at that point.
I didn't know you were in a stream.
Oh, you're doing some TikTok stuff too, Haley? Really? Got to drop a link. Check it out.
Who's a ghost?
You are interfering with my green screen.
No, I'm not.
Look at that. That's all you.
No, what are you talking about? See, there's nothing there. You're crazy.
What?
You're crazy. There's nothing there.
I see a little bit.
See? There's nothing there.
Yep, it's Abby.
No, it's not.
It is the plague. The Abby.
I am not a plague.
You are a plague on humanity.
No. I didn't know you were doing a stream.
Look at little, like, baby Ash. Oh, man. It's literally what Abby looked like when she was born.
No,
Oh, no problem, no problem. Like, random stuff, I'm all for it. Oh, you can see all of her insides.
It's a ghost.
Tell you, that's literally what Abby looked like.
No,
It's like when she like first came and I held her, she tried to do the same thing.
Thank you.
Like I had to guard my neck and everything.
Nah. Thank you, cat. Hashtag Abby did nothing wrong.
Hashtag Abby did nothing wrong.
I
Abby
just
does
said that.
everything wrong.
I just said that.
Oh my god, the darkness grows. Begone, Abby!
No.
Begone!
No.
Ow!
Thank you. Then I don't have to be surrounded with people.
You can always touch it, Paris, to see if it's good enough. I mean, 30 minutes should be fine. Abby is a walking curse.
I know. That would help my social awkwardness. Because nobody would be able to come near me. Not
Make sure she
people.
doesn't puke on the computer. I must cleanse.
I am not sick.
I mean, that's kind of one of the things, too. I mean, it killed Jason for a little bit of time, but it also, as people will try to argue that the lightning in Part 6 brought him back, as it did with Evil Ash in Army of Darkness. The power of Camp Juicy compels you. It compels you.
You're mean.
Here, stop. You end up hurting yourself again.
What do you mean again?
You
I
always
never
hurt yourself.
I never hurt myself in here. At least I don't remember. I don't remember. If I did, I don't remember.
Which honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing a lot about the Knights of Samaria. Like how they came to be. Yeah, Abby, you're ruining the illusion.
Nuh-uh. It makes it look cooler. There. You're welcome. And it's gonna still be there no matter what. So there's no point.
See, that would be another thing. The whole dispelling of Pamela Voorhees ever using the book. You had people from back then that could actually read it. Still fucked up. And still didn't, like, things went really bad. So how is it Pamela's the only one to find the actual passage that she needs and be able to read it perfectly with no repercussions?
Okay, I'll leave.
That could be. It could be. Maybe Jason was just a baby Godzilla at that point, Dave.
They think I'm gone.
I'm not sure what that would make Ruby and Ashen as opposed to the kid. The Queen Gremlin is gone. She still lurks. She always lurks. What the hell did I miss? We're through episode 1. We're currently about 10 minutes into episode 2, and we have been haunted by Ghost Abbey.
No, I'm not.
Freddy is a deformed burnt chicken nugget.
I'm not still here. I'm gone into the unknown.
Now, with all that happening,
The chicken
would they even
nugget
have
will
school at that point?
win. The chicken nugget will win.
I mean, the Godzilla and Jason stuff? I mean, Dave's making some good points about Jason being too small. I'm arguing that they are camera tricks. Anthony says the orange lightning came out of Jason's stomach and Jason Goes to Hell. All the victims he killed past Friday the 13th movies. There's no real evidence of that either. I mean, it'd be a cool concept that that was the case, but there's never been any kind of hint or anything within the Friday the 13th lore that says Jason takes the souls of anyone he kills. Plus, not to mention, when Jason gets blown up at the beginning of Jason Goes to Hell and the coroner eats his heart, those same orange kind of glows are going into the doctor. So what I'm thinking is the orange bits that you're seeing, the lightning and all that, is little bits of Jason's soul. Who is Abby anyways? She is a neighborhood kid that just came and never went home.
I'm telling.
She came over to visit, was like, hi, I'm your neighbor, and then just never went home. She has in her head that she may be my daughter. I'm not entirely sold on that. She convinced Amanda because she just worked on her for weeks and weeks and weeks on end. I'm hanging on by a thread, so I'm not entirely sure.
We had the same eyes.
My eyes are here. You don't have my eyes.
Shut up.
I don't share my eyes.
I have mixed green and blue, which is
See?
puzzle.
I don't share my eyes. My eyes have been in my sockets the entire time. No, with you looking under the green screen like that, you look like one of the deadites on here in the cellar.
Shut up. I'm not here. I'm not under the green screen. I'm gone.
You're gone?
They don't know I'm here. I'm not here.
How's the lizard survived all this time?
Ooh, I found a sequel.
Find a mask on the bed. Well, damn. I mean, With the mask or without the mask? I'll leave that one up to you. Because, I mean...
Found my real dad.
What?
I found my real dad.
You found your real dad?
It's Ranger.
Come collect your child! Why, you like it here now?
Yeah.
We give her pizza.
Yeah.
I'd gladly take the ownership of that cat. You make a good argument, Dave. You make a good argument. I actually never noticed that, Machete. That's funny, Anthony. She appears to be gone, but I still feel that chill in the air. She's haunting around here somewhere. Like, I can't place it, but I just feel these little beady eyes, like, staring at me. Almost as if I should unleash Chucky. I might have to let Chucky out. Oh, you have a good night, Haley, and definitely make sure you send me the link to your TikToks so that way I can check them out. Oh, I remember this scene. Ash's father had syphilis? Unleash Chucky on the Queen Gremlin. Again, you have a good night, Dave. Poor Abby. Don't encourage her, Ranger. Should I get Chucky? I shouldn't? Are you sure? I was thinking of buying the Annabelle doll. I shouldn't buy the Annabelle doll? Hold on one moment. I'm gonna buy it. Still don't understand why you're scared of dolls.
That's a secret I'll never tell.
What?
That's a secret I'll never tell.
That's a secret you'll never tell?
No.
You should.
No.
I really hope that Danny Glover comes to Predator Hunting Ground. He might. There's a very good chance that he might. I mean, they said they got a roadmap for a bunch of DLC that's going to be coming. So I have no doubt that Danny Glover's character may be coming. We might even get a Predator 2 map. Which, how many of you guys got Predator Hunting Ground? Since it is cross-play between PC and PS4, I know a lot of people had PS4. So let me know. I fucking get on the game with you guys. Honestly, I think if they're going to be using anybody from Predators, Ty, I think they're likely going to be using Lawrence Fishburne's character. Rash has a vivid imagination. What if King Thunder comes after me? You can try. I have the power of darkness on my side. That's hilarious. I don't know, he might be into that. Why does she look like one of the vampires from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, though? Oh, damn. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's so nasty. Royce is the lead character in Predator, but Lawrence Fishburne's character is by far the more interesting. Because you're talking about a guy that stayed on that planet for as long as he did, not only killed a predator, but took its tech and was able to use it against them and stay alive for who knows how long. To me, I would rather the Lawrence Fishburne character out of that. Because, I mean, we're already getting Commando-esque characters with presumably Arnold's character. We don't need another one with the character of Royce. Having someone that has Predator-esque cosmetics going into the game, like Lawrence Fishburne's character, is probably something to spice things up and not just add another Commando type. And if he could use the cloak too, that would be pretty cool as well. Oh. Oh. Oh my God. I mean, they could. But I just think if we're adding people from the movies, if people are just using movies as a tipping point for particular characters, I think Lawrence Fishburne's character, just on first sight, is likely the more interesting of the two. Because imagine the commandos on there, one of the commandos, like Lawrence Fishburne's character, having the ability to cloak themselves. That'd be pretty cool. Peppa Pig versus JG. I don't know, Peppa Pig's tough. Peppa Pig's very tough. I mean, Abby watches it all the time, so...
That's a lie. I watch Caillou for your information.
You watch Peppa Pig, too.
No, that's Bella. I watch Caillou. I actually don't. I just say it because it's funny. I don't watch anything.
Yeah, I think definitely Ash has to have some brain damage.
Hey, I wanted to see the chat too, you know.
Caillou versus JG. I don't know. According to Abby says Caillou.
Caillou.
She watches that thing like I used to watch Dragon Balls back in the day when it was like first coming on. It's like every episode is like another episode in the Frieza saga to her. You guys are babies. Cool kids watch Teletubbies. Abby's been known to watch an episode or two.
I don't watch Teletubbies like that.
Well, not like that.
Caillou is the best. And Dora. Dora's the best too.
Nightmare on Elm Street was a box office hit in the 80s. Yes, of course it was. That's why the series went on. Alright, that was episode 2 of season 3. We got one more episode left for this stream. But yeah, going back to Anthony, yes, all those movies. Halloween was a box office hit in the late 70s. Friday the 13th was a box office hit starting in 1980. Pretty much all of them were financially successful to a degree. They just had some diminishing returns. The difference being when you have a movie like Halloween that I think had like a $500,000 budget or something like that, and able to make a couple of $1 million off that, you're already in the plus to begin with.
They're for older kids too. You watch Dora, so shush.
Peppa Pig has those retractable teeth. Very true. Garrett says, Ocean Dub or Funimation? I remember both. I remember watching the Ocean Dub all the way until Goku fought Raccoon on Namek, and then it would start over. When they finally started producing new episodes and played them on TV, that's when it switched to the Funimation dub. And I didn't see the actual series all the way through with the Funimation dub until Dragon Ball Kai. Both Peppa Pig and Caillou are for pre-K.
No.
Abby. Yeah, Abby is in pre-K.
Yeah.
She, I mean, last time we saw any of her actual family, that's what they said that she was supposed to stay in.
Not real families, the aliens.
The aliens.
I have 16,852 sisters and an 18,000.
Oh, thank you, Tugra TK, for the follow. I greatly appreciate it, my friend.
And 18,743 brothers. And then 560 and 718 dads.
Sounds like your family needs to get a new hobby. Wait, Devin and Abby have something in common. They both watch Peppa Pig. It's true. That is the commonality
That's
of
what my sisters and my brothers watch.
Peppa Pig.
And Caillou and Dora.
Fucking single-handedly, like, keeping everything open. For Peppa Pig.
I want a Peppa Pig.
Oh, hold on, let me grab Chucky real quick.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, we're grabbing Chucky.
No, we're not.
Oh yeah, we're grabbing him.
No, you're not.
Oh yeah.
He disappear. Watch, he'll disappear. In 3, 2, 1.
What about this one?
No. Ah! No.
What?
No.
What?
No. Hey, move it. I can't see.
Sure you can.
There you go. You are the Queen of England? Hi, I wanted to meet you forever. It's nice to meet you. See, you're so lucky you got the Queen of England in the chat.
See, I told you, Abby. All right. So let us begin episode 3. Assuming you guys are ready, we begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play.
Yeah, I am adopted, but they sent me down to Earth because it was going to explode, I think. They didn't tell me the real reason.
Don't tell Amanda that she's adopted, though, because I mean, Amanda like goes into the, I felt that big head come out of me and all of that. And sadly, Abby's head has never shrunk. It just gets bigger and
Because
bigger.
it's my smartness.
It's your smartness.
Yeah.
You don't have Death here to pump your head up. Did I see your last comment about the Peppa Pig? Yeah.
See, you have 2 famous people in the chat. Okay, I'm actually leaving.
I can't remember. Does she come back? mean, obviously, a Deadite's not going to respond to that. Yeah, I saw your comment about what Caillou means. So yeah, she does come back. Devin is a pigeon. Where the fuck did that come from? Ooh. I'm telling you, Ash has probably banged the Deadite before. Oh, dude, it's kind of nasty. Oh. 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 Keep your mouth closed. Oh. Fucking Ash. Rat bat cow. Like what? Man, bear pig. I am not a doggo. Cat is a platypus. Devin is a pigeon. What have we devolved into? I mean, you can clearly look at the mother's face, though, and tell that she's transformed. Like, how do you, like, start that over again? JG is a furry? Nah. I mean, like I said before, I mean, if I got one, like one of those suits that I actually really wanted, I'd get one, but... It's a lot more dust and orbs flying around me. I mean, it's the same thing I normally use. It just might be more prevalent. They need to stop making fake Friday the 13th movies. You mean like... I'm not sure what you mean, Anthony. You talking about fan films? Or are you talking about, like, people making sort of, like, bootleg ripoffs, like Bloody Murder and stuff like that? Because, I mean, you got to keep in mind, if you're talking about fan films, those fan films are what's keeping the series alive right now. Without the things like Never Hike Alone or even Jason Rising, just from the stuff that the interest that is generating, those are things that are keeping the overall Friday franchise alive and not let it fading into obscurity. I mean, Pablo, it's not a bad choice of lustfulness. Those are Abby's tiny gremlins. Not exactly, Alessandro. Because the concept of Friday the 13th, in essence, yes, is a ripoff of Halloween as far as picking a holiday-based kind of day. Like Halloween, Friday the 13th in that sense, like Valentine's Day, stuff like that. Like, it's a ripoff in that sense, and having a psychopathic killer on the loose, killing all people one by one. However, that's where the similarities end. because Pamela Voorhees is a much different killer than Michael Myers was. Even though when Jason comes into the picture, him being a silent killer, his motive and way he operates is completely different from Michael Myers. So on his bare bones, it's technically a ripoff just on the day's sake alone. But if you're judging by character, they're completely different characters. They just have some similarities. It's sort of like saying the Wishmaster is a ripoff of Freddy Krueger because they both talk. Something like that. Like, it's very similar, but it's different. Fan films, I'm telling you, fan films are the lifeblood of these horror franchises now. I mean, right now, Friday the 13th has the best fan films by far. But, that's not to say that someone else could come up with a really good fan film for themselves, for a Nightmare on Elm Street or Hellraiser or anything like that, and really make waves. Like, fan films, they're showing people a lot of things of what can be done within these franchises. And in Friday the 13th's case, while it's on hiatus because of the whole Victor Miller, Sean Cunningham thing, it's definitely keeping interest alive. Because I know I'm interested in Jason Rising. I don't know about you, Anthony. I'm interested in Jason Rising, especially after that short little teaser that they had. Never Hike in the Snow, I'm greatly interested in. But I mean, to each their own. To each their own. Have I ever heard of magnet fishing? I mean, like an actual like game, like you're fishing with a magnet, like little plastic fish. I mean, if that's the case, I've heard. If you're talking about something else, nothing's coming to mind. I don't like Friday the 13th fan film. Like I said, to each their own. To each their own. However, right now, Never Hike Alone is quite literally the best Friday the 13th film that we've gotten since Part 7. Personally, in my personal opinion. And the fact that it was able to accomplish that and not be a body count film, you got to give them credit for that. Are the boys still here? I'm assuming so. They got to be somewhere around here, Alessandro. I can't remember who they brought back from the dead there. JG, where you go to a lock or ocean and you fish with a powerful magnet to find treasure. Oh. No, I've never done that. Sounds interesting, but I've never done it. Anthony says, I want to see a real Friday the 13th movie. As would we all. We all would. However, it's just not possible right now. It's not a possible thing. Mostly due to the lawsuit. They have to not only get past the lawsuit of who owns what, which we already know who's going to come away with what. But we also have to wait for a studio, probably New Line and Paramount, to combine their resources and getting maybe Victor's rights and then Sean's rights and combining them together and forcing them to kind of take the monetary agreement that the studio agrees on. That would probably be the only way that's going to happen. But as of right now, fan films is all we got. Fan films is all we're going to get for a while. Oh, that just looks nasty. Oh. Me and the boys spamming dabs. Spam the dabs! Give me all the dabs! That looks so fucking nasty. What if I became the new owner of Friday the 13th? I believe that's what you mean, Ranger? I mean, I would definitely handle things a lot differently than what they're doing. Granted, I would have to get into a sense of what I can do and what I can't do with the franchise, since part of the franchise was sold to New Line. The first thing I would want to do is I would want my rights back for all of that. And then try to work my way to actually revitalizing the franchise. Oh, definitely. I think we could work something out to put together a nice little Friday the 13th project. Especially because I already got the story in mind that I would want to do, which is also up on the channel. What if Michael Myers is actually Mike Myers? There's like a Shrek or Austin Powers joke in there somewhere, but I just don't know where. What was the demons just watching, waiting for that? He's just trying to shoot it. Imagine Shatner making a cameo in Halloween Kills. That'd be a pretty funny thing to have. Where he sees Michael Myers' mask and makes a comment about it. I mean, I personally wouldn't want it, but because I wouldn't want to make fun of Michael at all. But that'd be pretty funny for an inside joke that people that wouldn't realize his mask is based off William Shatner's face. Can two deadites reproduce? I would assume. If you do a Wishmaster 5, do you like to time up? I'm not sure what you mean, Anthony. Like wording wise. I'm assuming you like to team up, is what you said. I mean, yeah, I don't see no reason why not. Again, though, with something like Wishmaster, the most I might do is I might scale things back to maybe after part 2. But likely, with the way the story I would want to go with is something after part 1, redoing that. Woo! Woo! Mm. Ow. Fucking poor Brandy. I'll wait till he sees the shower. Oh, man. Well, that was episode 3 of Ash vs. the Evil Dead. Starting off pretty well. Let's see with chat here. We've got Ty saying, if I got the position as head of the Walt Disney Company and hired you to write the animated version of Dracula, what would you do with the story? is it okay to scare little kids? In the sense of Dracula, there are some ways you can do it where it's not as scary, but also it gets turned into a bit of sort of take over the world kind of plot. And you could go with that. You can make it more adventurous. You can try to hide Lucy's death and all the sex and everything that's involved with it. But ultimately, it starts to become something else that would ultimately take away from the overall story. I mean, how I would do it would sort of like the book. I would use the book as the template, because the book, for anybody that's never read Dracula, the book is about as early found footage-esque kind of media that you can find, because it's all done from journal entries, newspaper clippings, notes that people were writing to each other. It's not written like a typical book, like Once Upon a Time and so forth like that. The book is all done from beginning to end as a compilation of journal entries, newspaper clippings, and notes from people to one another. And the way you can do that is you can try to interpret the notes and sort of water them down throughout a story. How that would look as an animated movie is very, very difficult, because one, today people are very touchy with anything animated. Two, if you make it under the Disney banner, that's going to be even more touchy. And we're talking about vampires. Not only vampires, but one of the most sexually iconic vampires of all time. And trying to convey something that's kid-friendly from that story, that's a tough task. I don't know if it can really be done and be done to the way that I would like it, but I'm sure someone could take the Bela Lugosi version and run with that instead. That would probably be what they would do, since Bela Lugosi's version is pretty G-rated by today's standards even. But if I was to do it, I want an adaptation of the book. Who can get the rights to I Know What You Did Last Summer? I would imagine it's back with the with its original author, because they did nothing with the movies for decades now. But alright guys, that's going to do it for me for tonight. I'm going to jump off here, probably go make me some food and take some aspirin to get rid of the oncoming headache. Well, thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you tomorrow, where we'll probably be playing a little bit of Predator Hunting Ground, a little bit of Dead by Daylight, maybe some Friday the 13th. I plan on playing a ton of shit, especially if this headache is completely gone. We're going to be getting into it. But I will definitely see you guys tomorrow, and as always, I am JG Darhk, and thanks for watching.
Never laugh as a hearse goes by, for you may be the next to die. They wrap you up in bloody sheets to drop you 6 feet underneath. They put you in a pine wood box and cover you up with dirt and rocks. It all goes well for about a week, and then your coffin begins to leak, and the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out, the worms play pinochle on your snout. They eat your eyes, they eat your nose as you begin to decompose. A slimy beetle with demon's eyes chews through your stomach and out your sides. Your stomach turns to rancid grease and pus pours out like melted cheese. You spread it on a slice of bread, and that's what you'll eat when you're dead. And the worms crawl out, the worms crawl in. The worms that crawl in are lean and thin. The ones that crawl out are fat and stout. Your eyes fall in and your hair falls out. Your brain turns into maggot pie. Your liver starts to liquefy. And for the living all is well as you sink further into hell. And the flames rise up to drag you down into the fire where you will drown. Your skin melts off as you descend, and Satan tears you limb from limb. Your suffering will never end. And the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out. They'll eat your guts and then shit them out. And when your bones begin to rot, the worms remain, but you do not. So don't ever laugh as a hearse goes by, for someday you'll be the one to die. And when death brings his cold despair, ask yourself, will anyone care?